Hi, everybody. It's Craig and Indian Cowboy back with your Wednesday. We got the entire card we're going to cover for you in Major League Baseball. It's Wednesday, July 9th. Yeah, we're almost a third of the way through July. All-Star break, what, a week? A little more than a week away. So let's get right to it. Before I get to it, don't forget, get DocSports.com/free60. Get a free $60 account to try us out. Get our best plays. I know I'm going to either have a 6 or 7 unit play. I'm waiting for the final pitching matchups to be finalized for tomorrow. If they come out where I think, I'll have a 7 unit. If not, be slightly less on a 6 unit. I see. What do you have? Any big plays for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I might have a baseball step out tomorrow. I could have a possible prop step out as well. At Sonny Gray over 5.5 strikeouts today. Props are on like an 8-3 run, and so either a 7 unit baseball or a 7 unit prop or both.
Okay, so make sure you check that. And it's very simple how you can check. Go over to DocSports.com under the members area at the top. It says big play alerts. That's when you know what each capper has for today if they have a big play alert. So make sure you check that out. Also, don't forget about our Premium and Premium Plus. It's very simple. Make sure you check us out. It's a little different than our Premium plays over at the website. That's where you find the absolute top plays. But if you go over, click the link in the description. It's $19.99. That gets you level 1. That's Indian Cowboy. Get you a couple plays every day. That's about 3 or 4 plays a day, right, Icy?
Yeah, it's about these days I'm trying to do 5, and you're getting 150 selections for $20 a month. It's an extra video every single day. It's just unbelievable value. So
yeah, so that's, and if you want the level 2, you'll get Indian Cowboy plus 3 expert plays. I do the video. Maybe Lenny's going to help me soon, where we pick out 3 different cappers from Doc Sports. So that's $49.99, and like I said, you get level 1 included. That's $2,700 value. Make sure you click the link and purchase at your desktop, and you'll get those prices. Otherwise, there's an upcharge for both YouTube, Apple or Google Play Store. So make sure you do it on your desktop. Okay, let's kick it off here. Early games. We got a couple early games. Let's start it off. Rays and the Tigers. The first game of the day, 1:10 Eastern Standard Time. Tigers won the first 2 games of this series, even though the Rays have been playing good. Tigers minus 146 total, 8.5. What do you like here?
yeah, man, the Rays come off back-to-back losses to these Tigers, 1-5 and 2-4, not good. And Detroit, of course, comes in winning now 5 in a row, and they're playing exceptionally well. You have Lytle and Olsen here. Lytle hooking up here with Lytle has not faced Detroit from what I can tell. He went 5 innings, 4 hits, and 1 run against Detroit last time, and he lost. He's been pitching really well. 3 straight games of 1 earned run against Minnesota, against Baltimore, against Detroit. He's been pitching really well. Tampa Bay's on a bounce back, too. It does make sense that there's a lot of value here on Tampa Bay. Will I make it a premium selection? No. But Olsen here for the Tigers. He has not pitched against Tampa Bay. He comes off a pretty good start. I mean, 4 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. But I think he's definitely hittable. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if, given that Tampa Bay comes off back-to-back losses and Lytle has some revenge as well, give me the Rays. As far as Toronto and the White Sox here, a little surprising. The White Sox are only a plus 125 dog. Toronto rolls in here with Lauer and Hauser on an 8.5 total. Who do you like?
Yeah, 10 in a row for the Blue Jays. So hard to get in front of that. I don't know how you don't take the Blue Jays, even though I think there's a slight starting pitching edge for Hauser. He's been really good his last few starts. In fact, the White Sox have won 2 of his last 3 starts. I like the over prop on Hauser today. I believe it's 2.5. I think it will probably end at 3 or 3.5. I still like it. I think he'll get us 4 strikeouts or more. Let's take the over prop on Hauser for the White Sox on strikeouts. Next game we're looking at, 2:10 start, Dodgers and the Brewers. Big bad Dodgers lost first 2 of this series. Minus 163, Dodgers favorite, total 8.5. What do you like, IC?
Yeah, they've lost 5 in a row now, and back-to-back 1-run games. And then if you include the 2 games prior to that, we're talking about 4 games of 5 that are 1-run games. And then you have the Brewers here who have won 3 in a row. You have Glasnow and Quintana here. At some point, the Dodgers are going to turn things around, obviously. And it could be here. You have a pitcher here that, he only went 1 innings, 2 hits, and 2 runs against Pittsburgh last time. He didn't pitch particularly well. He had a pretty good start against Texas and the Cubs before that. His 1 relief effort didn't come well here. He gave up 2 home runs in his last game, too. The last time he did that against the Cubs, he went 4 innings, 3 hits, and no runs against Texas. I think this is the game the Dodgers bounce back. And then Quintana comes in here. He's been around the block for a lot of teams. He obviously hasn't pitched for the Dodgers. And you get him here 5 innings, 6 hits, and 3 runs against the Mets in his last game. He hasn't pitched against the Dodgers this year, but back-to-back non-quality starts. He hasn't been pitching particularly well. I would say 3 of 4 non-quality starts. He does come off a loss, I understand, but I think this is all about the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers bounce back, and I think Glasnow bounces back too. So give me the Dodgers. Philadelphia and San Francisco here, Luzardo and Verlander on a total of 8. Philly comes in as a minus 135 favorite on a total of 8. Who do you like?
I think this has a lot to do about the price, about the name Verlander still. But look what he's done. He has not been good this year. In fact, in the last 10 starts, he's only the Giants have only won 2 of those games. Now, the Giants don't give a whole lot of run support, so it's been their issue all year long. I think that this is a slight starting pitch it is for Luzardo at this point of Verlander's career, believe it or not. But if not, it's a toss-up. I'll take the Phillies lineup. Much happier with that. At a minus 130 price, they are winning 3-1 late in the game as we're taping this on Tuesday night. All right, I see. Now we go to the evening game, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Mets and the Orioles. Mets favored minus 155, total of 9.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, the Mets ended up winning the first game 7-6, and they've actually been playing pretty good baseball, winning 5 of 6 right now. And the Orioles come in 10 games under 500, but they haven't been playing bad baseball. They'd swept my Braves. And then obviously they come off of a loss. You have Peterson, Sagano here on a total of 9.5. Peterson, he has not, as far as I can tell, faced Baltimore this year. He went 6 innings, 5 hits, and 1 run in his last game. The only problem is he's given up 12 walks in his last 4 games. He's given up quite a bit of walks. But he hasn't been that bad, but he's certainly been hittable. And these Orioles roll in here coming off of a loss. And you get Sagano here, who has not pitched against these Mets this year. He went 4 innings, 10 hits, and 6 runs against Texas, 5 innings, 9 hits, and 7 runs against Tampa Bay. He has to have a good quality start today, and I think he will. I actually think, surprisingly, he'll pitch pretty well. I kind of like the over here a little bit too. I think Peterson probably gets hit. I think the Baltimore can be an active dog. When Baltimore does win, they typically have a tendency to go over. So I kind of like the over here, and I kind of like the Orioles plus the 1.5 as well. So Seattle and the Yankees here. Yankees come into the minus 135 favorite. Seattle's the plus 115 dog on a total of 9. Evans and Schlittler here. Who do you like?
Yeah, Yankees got a must-win yesterday. It was just like they had been just struggling. They needed to get right. They got right. It was 10-3, something like that. Blowout win. Yankees, they're like begging for the All-Star break because they really have been the last week or so looking like they need the break. I like the over in the first 5 innings here. I don't like either. I think both these starters are going to get hit. So I think it's over 4.5, over 5, depending on where you look at it. I like either one in the first 5 innings. I think this is going to be like a 4-3 type game after 5. So let's get the over first 5 innings, Yankees and the Mariners. And now next game, another 7-10 start, Rockies and the Red Sox. Red Sox with Giolito on the mound, minus 305, total of 9. How do we find value in this one, I see?
Well, the Rockies, Jesus Christ, man. I actually liked them plus the 2.5 today, and that didn't even look good. They got destroyed 2-10. They're so bad. And they lost to Boston 3-9 before that, too. And now this line is up to minus 300. It's just insane. But Boston is putting a run together. They've won 5 in a row. They're trying to make a run at this playoffs. Senzatala and Giolito here. Senzatala here, 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs in his last game, and 4 innings, 8 hits, and 5 run. For what it's worth, he's covered the plus 1.5 line the last 4 or 5 games, and the plus 2.5 lines the last 5 of 6 games, and the plus 3.5 line the last 6 of 8 games. So, you're getting value here with a guy that's not a terrible pitcher, and he comes off back-to-back losses, and he hasn't lost 3 in a row since late May. But then again, when your team is this bad, what happens? It's not just the pitcher. Your defense sucks. Your relief pitching sucks. Your setup man sucks. Everybody sucks. So then you have Giolito here who rolls in. Facing Colorado, he hasn't faced him this year. He's been phenomenal. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run against Washington, or 7 innings, 6 hits, and no runs against Toronto. I think the only thing that kind of makes sense here is maybe, the total sits at 9 right now too. Maybe this game goes under. But at the same time, I'm just going to be a sucker for this. I'm going to take the Rockies plus the 2.5 as an extra lean, but I'm not going to touch this game with a 10-foot pole. Miami and Cincinnati, your Reds here. I don't know what to say about your Reds, man. I had them as a free pick twice. They lost both days
Yep.
against Miami. So at this point, they might not be Miami looks phenomenal right now. Jesus Christ. They're only 6 games under 500. So between Miami and Cincinnati, Alcantara with a 7 ERA, but and Abbott with the 2.17. And, of course, the 7 ERA guy is only a plus 105 dog after they beat them back-to-back games on the road. Who do you like?
Yeah, I can't touch the Reds right now. Yesterday, they were a 4-unit play for me, lost. They allowed 6 runs in the third inning. I'm like, okay, if your pitcher gives up 3 or 4 runs in the third inning, you take him out. No. They let him go ahead and give up 6 runs. Game was over there. I like a team total Reds over in this one. I see over 5, some 5.5s out there. Alcantara's been terrible. I mean, bad. I mean, 7 ERA. It's not like he has just a few starts. His last 3, 5, 7, and 3 runs, earned runs. I think the Reds will finally score some runs. They haven't scored runs in this losing streak here that they're on the last 4 or 5 games. Abbott's been really good for the Reds, so I do expect them to win today, but you can't take them the way they're playing, not as a favorite at this price. So let's take the Reds team total over 4.5 runs in this one. All right, I see we move towards the later games here. 7:40, Royals hosting the Pirates. Royals minus 200, total 8.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, I mean, the Pirates have been a sight for sore eyes for the Royals, right? The Pirates have now lost 5 in a row. They lost 3-4 and 3-9 against the Royals. The Royals really needed the series. They've now won 3 in a row, and they're only 3 games under 500. You have Falter and Bubic here. Falter here against Kansas City hasn't pitched against them this year, and it comes in. It's 5 innings, 3 runs in his last game, comes off a loss. But he was pretty good against the Mets, meaning 1 inning, 1 run. So that's not saying much, but he did go 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs against Texas, and he did beat them. He did go 5 innings, 5 hits, and 1 run against Miami. So he's not a bad pitcher, and he comes off back-to-back sort of shaky starts, including 3 home runs in his last start. I do think the Pirates probably show up here a little bit, coming off back-to-back losses as well. Bubic hasn't pitched against Pittsburgh this year, and he went 7 innings, 7 hits, and 3 runs against Arizona. 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs against the Dodgers, and all of that is good. But he's been giving up over a hit per inning, and including 5 walks in his last 2 games. I think the Pirates plus the 1.5 does have some value here. I'm going to back the Pirates. And this is one of the reasons why you have to research a lot of games to really find value, because there's just a lot of blah lines out there. I mean, do you really want to take the Pirates? You know what I mean? Do you really want to take the White Sox plus the 2.5? I mean, we're analyzing it correctly, but that doesn't mean you take the game. You just kind of move on from it. So as we move on to the Cubs versus the Twins here, Horton and Festa on the mound on a total of 9. And the Cubs come in as a road favorite as minus 130. Who do you like?
Well, 8 is great. The Cubs lost yesterday, 1-8. They won the game before 8-2. So whoever scores 8 runs wins. What it tells me, I think we're gonna get another over game. Yesterday pushed on the over. I think it was 9. The day before it was 8.5 or 9, so it did go over. I think today's game goes over. I don't like these starters as much as I like the first 2 games, and they both got they scored 8 runs apiece between those 2. Like we talked about. I think this game goes over as well. Cubs, this offense is really good. I did not expect this offense to be good. It has been very good this year, even though yesterday they not so good. Let's take the over 9 runs, Cubs and Twins. Before I get to the last one, we introduce the next game. Don't forget, if you want in on those top plays, go over to DocSports.com. Check out the big play alerts. I'm going to have either 6 or 7 unit MLB. I see he's probably going to have a couple potential strong plays tomorrow, so make sure you go over there. And then also click the link in the description if you want the Premium Plus or Premium level here at YouTube to test us out. Okay, I see Nationals and the Cardinals. Cardinals favored by minus 220, total 8.5. This national team fired their manager. Hasn't really helped that much. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I mean, the Nationals have now lost 3 in a row to Boston, right? They lost 2-11, 3-10, and 4-6, so they lost the run line in all 3 games. Now they head over to St. Louis and look to not do that. The St. Louis does come off that 0-11 loss to the Cubs. They are playing right now, and I am on the Cardinals right now, so we'll see how that shakes out. They are up 4-2 for what it's worth. So, you have Gore and Palanta here. Gore coming in here. He has not pitched again, though he had pitched against St. Louis. He went 6 innings, 5 hits, and 4 runs last time out. So he comes off a loss. He actually pitched pretty well against Detroit. 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. Pitched great against the Padres. 6 innings, 5 hits, and 1 run. He has given up 11 walks in his last 3 games, so that's a little sketch. But you know what? He's put together 6 of 7, 9 of 11, 9 of 10 quality starts. That's respectable in my eyes. And then you have Palanta here who rolls in. He last pitched against he pitched against Washington, went 7 innings, 5 hits, and 2 runs. He comes off a no-run effort of 7 innings, 1 hits, and no runs against Pittsburgh. Whenever he comes off a no-run effort like he did against Cincinnati, 6 innings, 3 hits, and no runs against the Reds, the next game he gave up 7 hits in 5 innings against the Cubs. He did struggle, but he did, and he lost that game. I think there's a lot of value here. I think Palante could have a little bit of a letdown. I like Washington coming off a loss, especially if they lose this game. I think Gore's been pitching really well. I'm going to take the +1.5. I think it's decent value. Now, will I make it my play? No. It's a lot of these games that our research says one thing, but we won't pull the trigger necessarily. Speaking of teams that are kind of, I leaned on Cleveland both these games. I knew that after that series against the Dodgers, Houston might have a massive letdown. It was just a huge emotional win, and then back-to-back game losing to the Guardians. Now the Guardians are facing Houston again. Will they win 3 in a row here on a total of 8 with Saccone on the mound versus Walter? What do you like?
Well, this was actually the one of the when I was looking ahead from this series that I thought that they could win. So winning the first 2 games, including yesterday's extra inning, I mean, Houston allowed that came all the way back, tied the game, forced extra innings, and they lose. I can't stand that rule where you start the guy on second base extra innings. It's like, okay, we're going to play the game one way, and then we get to the extra innings when it's most important. We're going to completely play the Gifford game. I think it's just more like a Russian roulette type outcome. I think this is a bounce back game for the Astros, though. I just think they're going to play much better. The Guardians don't score runs easily, even though they've scored in this series. They have not scored runs easily. And remember, they were tied and hit the home run on Monday, so it was both games were very close late. I think that the Guardians aren't going to do it. They've just won 2 of the last 10 games. It was these last 2. Give me the Astros -140 in this one. I see we got the Rangers and the Angels for you. 9:38 game. Angels favored with Hendricks on the mound. I was a little shocked here. -115 total 8. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, dude, this Angels team is just so weird. And then they continue to do really well. So, you have Texas rolling in here, winning 13-1 yesterday. After they had lost 5-6, they've been kind of up and down. And then you have the Angels here, who are only 2 games under 500, who have lost 4 of 5. So the Angels are on the bounce back here, and you have Rocker and Hendricks. As far as Texas is concerned here, Rocker comes in 5 innings, 4 hits, and 2 runs against the Padres, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs against Seattle. That's pretty good. He did pitch against the Angels. He beat them 7 innings, 5 hits, and 3 runs. The Angels do have some revenge here, but Rocker is really, he's really matured. He's won 3 of his last 4 games. He's starting to live up to his potential. I think he's pitching really well right now. But then you have Hendricks here, who last pitched against Texas. I think he pitched against them. I thought it was early this year, but I guess he has not pitched against them. But he did go 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs against Toronto. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run against Washington. He's kind of been on and off a little bit, but you can't forget that he had a stretch where he had 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 straight starts of at least 3 or 4 earned runs, and he's back to getting up 3 runs in about 5 innings. I think Rocker's turning the corner. I understand the Angels have revenge, but I understand that Texas just beat them too, but I still like Texas and Rocker, so I'm going to back the Rangers. Arizona and the Padres here, Fat and Cease here on a total of 7.5. Arizona comes in as a +115 favorite, and Padres -135 favorite at home. Who do you like?
I watched Cease pitch in Cincinnati. It was a week ago, I believe, Friday, when the Reds Martinez nearly had a no hitter in that game, the one in a blowout fashion. He's not the same pitcher that I've seen in the past. I've seen him in person a couple years ago. He just had a little different snap on his pitches. Now maybe that comes back. Maybe it's that time of the year where tired arms. Maybe it comes back after the All-Star break. I don't like it here though. I think this Diamondbacks team, I trust them a little more on offense. I like the Diamondbacks +115. I think there's pretty good value there on Cease that struggled at least in his last few starts. All right, last game I see your Braves. How about we both got our own teams? Braves and the A's. Braves only favored by -120 with Elder on the mound. Total 10.5. What do you like here on your Braves?
Yeah, I mean Atlanta, horrible series against the Orioles, and I can tell you the fan base in Atlanta is not happy. They've lost 4 in a row. Getting swept by the Orioles at home is even, a bigger sting to them, if you will, because people kind of believed in the Braves a little bit, and then they lose 4 in a row and losing 3 in a row to the Orioles. They had one local guy who mentioned that it could be the worst performing team ever in Braves history, given the payroll, which sucks for them. The Athletics roll in here. They've lost back-to-back games, but they only have a few less wins than the Braves do, given their payroll. Elder rolls in here, though, 5 innings, 8 hits, and 4 runs against the Angels, or 2 innings, 8 hits, and 9 runs against the Phillies. He's just been a disaster. He's had 4 straight non-quality starts. I do think at some point he's going to turn around, but we've been saying that about the Braves all year long, so I don't know how much longer we're going to say that. And then you have Spence here who rolls in, and Spence has actually been not that bad. He went 5 innings, 7 hits, and 4 runs, but he gave up 3 home runs in his last game. 5 innings, 3 hits, and 2 runs. So against Tampa Bay and the Yankees, that's a tough draw. And he faced Cleveland too, but he dominated Houston and the Angels and the Twins before that. So I think both these guys are sort of on the bounce back. I see the total at 10.5 as well. But I'm trying not to do totals these days because anything can happen. I just think the Braves are really embarrassed by the Orioles at home, and I think they're going to bounce back. And I think Elder is just too good not to bounce back. I'm going to take the Bravos.
Yeah, and they're losing 10-1 right now late in that one. So it's even more reason that they play a little bounce back ball tomorrow. Don't forget, if you want to get on all of our plays, go over to DocSports.com. Check on the log in under the members page. Also, you can go to DocSports.com/free60 if you're a new customer. And then, of course, check out our YouTube Premium Plus. It's simple. $49.99 gets you level 1 and level 2, and get you a lot of samples of what we do for a living. Then you know if you want to invest in our bigger packages over at the website. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll be back again next week. We're only, less than 2 months now for football. So good luck. IC, thanks again. See you again next time.
Later, buddy.